Hello, welcome to Pecan Corner. Today I'm going to dehydrate grapes. I have always heard that you really can't make raisins at home, that they don't do well. But I was in Cullen's, our local produce market the other day, and they had a bunch of these grapes that they call them raisin grapes, that they're grown to make raisins out of, and they're very sweet. They're seedless, and there were a bunch of them in their clearance bin. They're starting to get just a little not looking too great, but they're not spoiled yet. They haven't molded or anything like that. And so what I've done is I've washed them, and I'm going to put them out on my dehydrator, and all I'm going to do is lay them out whole, just like this, because it'll be really interesting to see how long it takes them to dry. I don't have a press to press the juice out of them or anything, but I don't think they do that with commercial raisins anyway. I think they just leave them whole and dry them. I have seen I saw one set of instructions that suggested putting them in boiling water briefly to kind of loosen up the skins, but I saw another one that just dried them straight, just washed them and dried them. And so that's what I'm going to try doing. I am cranking up my heat to 160 degrees, the top, so that they'll dry more quickly, because I don't know how long this will take. I've been using my, haven't been using my dehydrator, but I have been drying stuff this winter. Juniper berries are ripe right now. So if you have juniper trees in your neighborhood or on your property, go out and check, because these are the culinary juniper berries that you can use for seasoning with. And now I'm not drying these in my dehydrator because I don't want any heat on them. So I brought them up here to show you. But what I've done is I'm just leaving them sit in this bowl back in my laundry room. It's unheated back there, and I'll let them sit there for a month or so and just dry very naturally. I have found these two places. I went to visit a friend the other day, and one of her trees, I was like, oh, these are juniper berries. And then when we went to see Nick and Lanny the other day, there's one next to their place, and it has the nice big ones. These are the size, about the size that we buy in the stores. And so so, you know, this amount, you only use, you know, a few of them, 3 or 4 of them, or half a teaspoon of them in anything that you cook with. So you don't use very many. So this will last me probably several years, just this small amount. But if you're, when it comes to foraging, now's the time to go find your juniper berries. Grapes, of course, are out of season here. I don't know where these were grown. But Cullen's works very hard to keep local produce and Texas produce in, but they do keep produce stocked all seasons, you know, so that you can always get grapes there. And if they're ripe in Texas, it'll be Texas grapes. But I don't know where these come from, but that's all right. They're very sweet and very tasty little grapes, and I think they're going to make great raisins, and I think it's going to be pretty exciting at the farmer's market when I'm able to talk about some of the products that I make. I have some muffins that I make that use raisins, and then I make some cinnamon rolls with raisins in them, and I'll be able to say with my own home-dried raisins. So I'm going to get these going, and then I'll be back and show you the finished product. Hello again. Oops, let me see if I can get to where you can see this better. Okay. These have been drying for about 15 hours now. Let's see if I can get the camera positioned where you can see a little better. There, that's better. Alright, these have been drying for about 15 hours. You can see some of them are nice and dry, and they are very tasty. They taste really good. There are some of the bigger ones are still need some time. And it's kind of like that throughout my whole block here. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take out these ones that are very dry, move them into a bowl, and consolidate these that still have a lot of moisture in them, because I don't want to over dry the other ones. And then I'll put those other ones back in to finish their drying. But these are just, oh, yummy. They taste so good. And they're completely natural, no additives or anything. So I'm really happy with this. I thought it would take a lot longer for them to dry, because they were, you know, very juicy. There's one I forgot the little stem on. Take that stem off. But so I'm pretty pleased. I put them on before we last night about 6 and let them run all night, and then some this morning, and they're just in great shape, just doing great. I'm very, very pleased with these. I thought that might take days for them to dry. I was afraid I might have to cut them in half or something, but I didn't, and these worked well. Like I said, these were specifically raisin grapes. This is a variety that was grown to make raisins out of. So I'm feeling of them as I pick them up. If you can tell when they're still soft, when there's still a lot of liquid in them. But some of them are pretty big, but there's not any liquid left in them. So you can kind of feel that as you go. All right, I'll be back in a little bit and show you the rest of it. All right, so after I've finished dehydrating them all, there were a few that took a little bit longer to finish drying. You know, most of them were dry within about what did I say, about 15 hours. There were some more that took about another 5 hours to dry. So all told, 20 hours. Some of those that took longer to dry were small ones. Even, it's funny, I don't know why some of them took longer than others, but anyway, I started out with about a gallon of grapes, and I've got now just a little less than a quart of raisins, and they're very tasty. They're sweet, and I think you could do this safely with any. I mean, not safely. I don't, but successfully with any seedless raisins. They look great. They taste great, and I'm going to condition them now. You know, leave them together now, and then I'll vacuum pack them and store them. But they look like they look just like regular raisins. You wouldn't be able to tell the difference. So there we go. There's another fun thing that we can do when we have an excess of grapes. Thanks a bunch. See y'all.